Hello everyone, this is Watson, and today we're going to talk about how to choose the perfect dome camera for us. Well, first of all, let's take a look at what a dome camera is. A dome camera is an IP camera that is shaped like a dome. You can also think it as a half sphere. So what is an IP camera? An IP camera is just a camera that follows the internet protocol, which transmits its data via an IP network. So usually an IP camera is usually used for surveillancing purposes. You can mostly see these as like security cameras, and you will mostly notice it is on ceilings. Because of its design, when it's on a ceiling, it's a very discrete monitor. The reason it's discrete because it blends in the environment really easily. It's not that easy to notice. There is another common type of security cameras, which is like a bullet camera. That is one of those more terrifying ones. Those are used to terrorize any potential criminals in crowds or in remote locations. When they see that camera, they'll know that that place is under surveillance, and they won't think twice before they act. And a dome camera, it is discrete and really hard to notice which direction it is actually monitoring because it can rotate around and zoom in, zoom out. It's really hard for us to see. So dome camera is kind of like hidden sometimes. When it's on the ceiling, you might notice it, but you're not really sure if it's looking at you currently. So now let's talk about how to choose it. Well, usually they come in two types. One is a common IP camera, one is a PoE IP camera. The difference is the way they receive their power. A common PoE IP camera, it will need a 12 volts adapter right here that connects to a power outlet. And if you think that's too complicated and too much work, because if you use that, you're going to need an Ethernet cable here and a power cord here. We can use PoE. PoE is much more easier, much more simpler, because with PoE, the technology transmits both power and data through a single Ethernet cable. All we need is to connect one Ethernet cable to this Ethernet outlet here, and then there will be power and data transmitting to it simultaneously. And it would be more safer to contact because when it's PoE standard, the voltage is within the safety range for human contact. Well, after we talked about the way they receive their power, there are other features we should consider when we're choosing it. Then let's talk about the image quality. So when they're coming to image quality, we usually use the term of megapixels, and 5 megapixels is a really common amount for us to choose. This is like an average. And if you need more precise, detailed images for your surveillancing purposes, you can choose higher megapixels for your camera. Just choose according to, it's not always higher the best, because when it goes higher, there comes a lot of other cost. Then let's talk about another feature is the infrared. Infrared is also known as night vision because the infrared will illuminate the image or the object and let it be able to be captured by our camera. Infrared we cannot see with our human eyes, but when it's too dark around, infrared is a really good method to let us get a clear image of what is going on around there. So when you have infrared, which is night vision for a camera, in late nights or dark environments, you will receive a black and white but clear image. It may not be colorful, but it's really easy for us to visualize. Then another feature we should consider is about the motion detector. Motion detector and human detector, these are two features which will be really useful if we have a spot which is not that usually visited by objects or humans, like a back door or an alley. There's not that much activity there, and if you use motion detector, any kind of activity will trigger the camera to start recording. If you use human detector, only human structures appearing in the camera in the image will trigger the camera to recording. And this benefits us how? Because if we keep the camera on 24/7, it uses up a lot of electricity, that's one, and then it kind of reduces our camera's lifespan. Also, it takes up storage in our recording devices. So then these are kind of like the features of a camera, and then let's take a look at like the hardwares. Like you should choose a camera which has waterproof because sometimes there's going to be a chance you're going to have water contact to it, and electronics don't work that well with water. So waterproof is a really good thing you should consider. And then vandal proof, because sometimes there'll be some naughty kids or some people with bad intentions trying to compromise this device to, go around the surveillancing area. So make it be able to withhold 1 or 2 strikes. That'd be nice. And then like this one right here, it has a rugged metal housing. This means it can help it release the heat when it's working. Now let's take a look at this one in my hand. This is our fast cabling dome camera. This one has a 5 megapixel resolution, has infrared, also has like motion and human detectors. And also you can remotely control this. This is compatible with ONVIF, when ONVIF is like an universal language for multiple devices to link to each other. So when your device is ONVIF compatible, it means it's basically to connect to most video recorders in the market. And also the metal housing makes it waterproof and vandal proof. Also helps it release heat greatly. So yeah, this is our fast cabling dome camera. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them at the section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.